English 11, symbols, 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 right? That's where we're at with the novel right now. Back on the red hunting hat. It was on your quiz, and we discussed how the big reveal so far in chapter 5 of The Catcher in the Rye is learning that his little brother Allie had passed away through leukemia, and how that hat is symbolizes the leukemia, cancer of the blood, right? Red hat. Also, Allie had what color hair? It was red. I'm a little jealous. I just wish I had some hair. So that's symbolic. And then the ducks on the pond, he references them right before he leaves Pensy. He wonders where the ducks go when the pond freezes over. He's been kicked out of another school, so he's wondering where he's going to go. What's his next step, right? Also, it's referenced again when he's in the cab. He goes to New York. He's not going home. He doesn't know exactly what hotel he's going to check in or even, who he's going to hang out with, right? So he asks the cabbie, where do you think them ducks go? So it's very symbolic of Holden's uncertainty. So that's kind of where we're at the novel. You're going to need to be at the end of chapter 12 by the next class. And that's, so 8A tomorrow, you guys need to be at the end of chapter 12, and B-Day is on Friday. You guys are going to need to be at the end of chapter 12 for the following week. So that's where we're going. The other thing, we keep going back to our persuasive essay, which is the essay that you're going to do for your writing SOL. So planning. Remember we did the article on cell phones this week. And you had to create that T-chart of pros and cons. And then in the end, you had to decide which side did you think the author was leaning towards. Was he more on the pro column or was he more in the con column? And what you did with your graphic organizer is you had a list on both sides. And hopefully you could look visually at that T-chart and see, okay, well, the author has more pros or the author has more cons. And then here's what the essay is composed of. Your position. So you start out saying the author makes a valid argument that there are more pros, if that's the side you chose, for cell phones. And then you went back to the article and you said, here's A, B, and C. You listed out 3 reasons as to why there were more pros, and that was the author's position, right? And, we're going to continue to work on grammar. We're going to continue to work on your word choice. We're going to continue to work on specific quotes. And I do want to note that quotes are not every time somebody's talking. Right? When I say quotes, most people go, oh, let me find the dialogue in the book, or let me find the dialogue in the article. No, a quote is simply any time it's not your own words. So that's what a quote is. And also it keeps you away from the avenue of plagiarism. So if you use somebody else's words, go ahead and throw some quotation marks around it and avoid the plagiarism for one, but also use that as some really concrete evidence to back up your position. But we're going to do this. I was talking about it with Mrs. Becker and Mrs. Musholder. We're going to do these kind of position essays, these persuasive essays, if you will, where you have to pick a side, you have to provide specific evidence, right? And then you have to make it sound like you're a kid who's about to, graduate high school. So your word choice has to be solid. Your grammar has to be capitalized at the beginning of a sentence, make sure there's punctuation, things that, your English teachers have been preaching at you for years. But we're going to do this with our fictional novels. We're going to continue to do this with short nonfiction articles. We're going to do it with songs. We're going to do it with documentaries. We're going to do it with all kinds of different sources over and over again so you have it nailed. Just a couple reminders. You need to have your rewrites on that first persuasive essay that you constructed to me by Friday. I love the writing process and the fact that I get to edit it for you and give it back, and then you make those changes. The more that you edit your documents, the better you'll become as a writer. That's just how it is. It's that old saying, practice makes perfect. Anyways, guys, I'll be out tomorrow. My dad's having surgery, unfortunately, a little bit of heart surgery. I may have told you in class. Hope to be back by Friday. If not, I'll definitely see you in the start of next week. As always, come by and see me. I'm available every morning. Any questions, you can also hit me up through email. But I also want to say I'm really proud of the work that you guys have been doing. The pop quiz that I gave the past 2 classes on Catcher in the Rye, everyone pretty much just knocked it out of the park. And those weren't basic comprehension questions. We touched on the symbolism. There was some inferencing as well. And you can expect more of that because I want you to go beyond the surface of the text and start looking deeper. So there we are. Continue to hit on the consumerism and the alienation in modern society as our big theme here for postmodern lit. And have a great weekend if I don't see you.